Educational leaders play a pivotal role in affecting the climate, attitude, and reputation of their institutions. They are the cornerstones on which learning communities function and grow. With successful leadership, institutions become effective incubators of learning, places where students are not only educated but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. On the other hand, poor or absent leadership, it can undermine the goals of an educational system. When institutions lack a strong foundation and direction, learning is compromised and students suffer. According to Wallace Foundation study, leadership is second only to classroom instructions as an influence on the student learning. But what makes a successful educational leader? How do you become truly effective in a leadership position? While there is no one solution to successful educational leadership, there are certain strategies, skills, traits, and beliefs that many of the most effective educational leaders share. I would be touching upon some of these traits which I have found necessary and important during my 35 years journey in this field. I had been chairman of defense children's schools. I had been principal myself of Sainik School, Bhubaneswar, and then recently I was principal Indian Naval Academy from where I retired. So the first thing which good educational leaders do is they understand the importance of building community. Effective educational leaders build and sustain reciprocal family and community partnerships and leverage those partnerships to cultivate inclusive, caring, and culturally responsive educational communities. To build these communities network, it is essential that these leaders are visible in their institutions and community. They develop trust and create a sense of transparency and shared purpose with parents, staff, community members, and the students. Locking yourself up in difficult to reach offices and being unapproachable may be fashionable these days, but it is disastrous. Uh, it has been said that trust matters in institutions with high level of trust. Teachers are motivated and willing to try new strategies because they are trust leaders to support them. Students are motivated and connected to their school because they trust their teachers, and families are supportive because the principals and teachers have built trusting relationships with them. The second one is basically they empower the teachers and cultivate leadership skills. Great education leaders know that they are not running a one-man show, that they cannot do it alone. They know that they must surround themselves with great teachers and colleagues, and not only that, they must fulfill and fully support the teachers and staff by encouraging them to continually learn, develop, and perhaps most important, become leaders themselves. The fourth trait is the vision and a plan. The very best leaders are also visionaries. They have a goal that they can unite a team around and a plan to help them get there. Not just that, but they are able to clearly articulate their school vision and goals. Vision is perhaps one of the most important qualities a leader can have as it provides momentum and direction, not just for the team leader, but for each and every team member. Of course, in order to for the leaders to be successful in pursuing their vision and enacting their plan, they must pair their vision with unrelenting passion also. Vision and passion from an effective leader should generate inspiration, motivation, and excitement that permeates throughout the school. According to a successful school leadership report published by UK-based Education Development Trust, effective leaders provide a clear vision and sense of direction for the organization. They prioritize, they focus the attention of staff on what is important and what to do, and not let them get diverted and sidetracked with initiatives that will have very little impact on the work of the students. But this vision needs glasses of wisdom. The fifth trait, which is very important for the leaders, is that they should have the capability of collaborating inclusive learning environments. Inclusive learning provides all students with access to flexible learning choices and effective paths for achieving educational goals in spaces where they experience a sense of belonging. The best educators know this and prioritize inclusivity, creating safe learning environments that nurture every student. Leaders that prioritize inclusive learning also typically believe that every person can contribute to the greater learning community, and therefore they encourage collaboration between faculty as well as students. Perhaps the most critical role in successful inclusive schools is the role of the principal. The school principal's active participation is the single most important predictor of success in implementing change, improving services, or setting a new course. The school principal is central to facilitating systematic change and leading faculty to adopt new attitudes and practices. Another trait is that they should be passionate about their work. Passion is a critical ingredient for nearly everyone who wants to be successful and happy in their job, but passion is especially important for educational leaders who typically have a great influence on their organization's culture and climate. Passionate people have a contagious energy that can greatly affect staff satisfaction, drive, as well as students' performance. All the knowledge in the world can't make a good leader. It is the care for the work and the people who collaborate with you that makes the difference. People want to follow a passionate leader, someone who cares about not only the cause for which he or she is working, but also the other people who are involved in the effort. Passion for the projects, for the organization, and for the people involved are key to successful leadership. Good educational leaders also encourage risk taking. What most educators already know is that failure can be the greatest teacher. Just as teachers should encourage risk taking among the students in order to spur growth, truly effective leaders encourage risk taking among their subordinates and colleagues by creating a supportive environment that rewards not just successful ideas or initiatives but efforts as well. No matter what is the outcome, failure is required for learning, but our relentless pursuit of results can also discourage employees from taking chances. So, to resolve this conflict, leaders must create a culture that supports risk taking. One way of doing this is to use controlled experiments that allow for some failures and require rapid feedback and correction. This provides a platform for building collective intelligence so that employees can learn from each other's mistakes. It is our duty to explore the unknown only by taking the risk. Then, leading by example. We have all heard the saying, do as I say, not as I do. Of course, the irony is that actions are much more telling than words. Leaders who lead by example position themselves as tremendous role models for not only the students in their institutions, but for colleagues and parents as well. A leader that leads by example almost always receives respect and admiration, without which he or she will find very little luck in leadership. Example is not the main thing in influencing others. Actually, this is the only thing which is required. All good educational leaders they persevere also. Change, while it is good, it can also be disruptive when it occurs too frequently. In the case of educational leadership, it has been documented that frequent turnover results in negative school climate, which in turn has a negative effect on the student performance also. So, committed and effective heads who remain in their organization are associated with improved students' achievement also. And as a corollary, leadership turnover is associated with lower gains in students' achievement. So, the negative effect of this turnover suggests that leaders need time to make meaningful improvements. And one study found that it takes on an average around 5 years for a new head of the organization of any organization to really bring any turnaround in any organization. So for the best leader, therefore, they are willing to commit to an organization and persevere despite the obstacle or the challenges. After all, realizing a vision doesn't happen overnight. True transformation takes time. So a leader's commitment displays not only passion but dedication, which can have a tremendous positive effect on organization. And the last trait which I would like to speak is learning itself. Is the most important of all the qualities which I feel that education leaders can possess is the unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. The best leaders, no matter what industry they work in, know they will never know it all. They are humble in their knowledge, yet confident in their abilities. They are endlessly curious individuals who never stop questioning and learning. It takes a real sense of personal commitment, especially after you have arrived at the position of power and responsibility, to push yourself to grow and challenge conventional wisdom. which is why two of the most important questions leaders face are as simple as they are profound, which I will be telling you. That are you learning as an organization, as an individual, as fast as the world is changing? And secondly, are you as determined to stay interested as to be interesting? And remember, it is what you learn after you know that you have learned everything that matters. And even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. We are not books which are of lasting values. We are like newspapers. You need a new edition every day, otherwise you will become scrap. A Hindi couplet I would like to say for you this in the end, that बेहद ज़हीन शख्स भी जो थम के रह गया, ज़हीन शख्स means intelligent person, बेहद ज़हीन शख्स भी जो थम के रह गया, अखबार बीते कल का महज बन के रह गया. Thank you, जय हिंद.